Welcome back to the deep dive. So you flagged something major coming down the pipeline. The European Accessibility Act 2025.
Yep, the EAA. It's definitely worth talking about.
Right. So today we're going to unpack that. What is it? Why should people care, even if maybe they aren't in the EU? And what are the key things jumping out from the sources? Basically, cut through the noise.
Exactly. The main idea, the mission, is to make society more inclusive. It does this by standardizing accessibility rules across the EU.
For like products and services.
Yeah, a whole range of them. The goal is equal access for people with disabilities, older people too, making things just usable out of the box.
And you mentioned the timing, it's getting close.
June 28th, 2025. That's the date things need to be compliant. And like you hinted, it's way broader than just, say, websites.
Okay, so not just digital accessibility.
Now, it covers physical products too. Think ebooks, sure, but also banking services, transport, ATMs, even how product packaging is designed. It's pretty fundamental.
Wow, okay. So what are some of the key requirements people really need to get their heads around?
Well, the big principle is designing for maximum usability. Like, information should be available through different senses, if possible.
Multiple senses. How so?
Think visual and audio cues, for example, and understandable formats, decent font size, good contrast, that sort of thing. Services have to be accessible too.
And the service providers are responsible for the tech they use.
Yes, precisely. And they need to mention accessibility compliance in their terms and conditions.
Got it. What about websites specifically? That affects so many businesses.
Right. For websites, the benchmark is WCAG 2.1 level AA, though aiming for 2.2 is even better.
WSAG 2.1 All A. Okay, and what does that mean in practice?
It means technical stuff, like keyboard-only navigation has to work flawlessly. Screen reader compatibility is huge. Alt text for images, captions for videos, good color contrast ratios.
The basics of web accessibility, but really enforced now.
Exactly. And design changes too. Clear navigation, logical structure using headings, interactive things need focus indicators, error messages need to be clear and helpful. It's about not shutting people out.
Makes sense. You mentioned this design for all idea extending beyond digital. Can you give some more examples?
Sure. Think about an ATM Any. It might need audio output options and tactile keypads.
Oh.
Or smartphones having built-in screen readers.
Okay, yeah.
Even product packaging, making it easier to open or understand. Services like online banking or transport apps, they need to work across websites, mobile apps, maybe even physical terminals. Information has to be accessible to clear labels, manuals that work with assistive tech.
This really sounds like a significant undertaking for businesses. What should they be doing right now?
Definitely need to be proactive. First step. Get accessibility policies down on paper. Train your staff not just on WCAG, but how to assist people. Use inclusive language.
Training is key.
Absolutely. And regular audits. You need to test things properly with actual assistive technologies like screen readers or magnifiers. Compatibility is crucial.
What else?
You need an accessibility statement. On your website, your app, it should say how compliant you are, who to contact if there's a problem, and for e-commerce, product pages need to be screen reader friendly, checkout process too.
Okay, so you do all that. What happens if a business doesn't? What are the teeth behind this?
Well, enforcement is up to the individual EU member states. But non-compliance could mean pretty hefty fines, possibly even a percentage of global revenue.
Wow, global revenue.
Yeah, potentially. Or they could even suspend your product or service from the market. And there will be clear ways for users to report non-compliance by June 2025.
Are there any exceptions, like for really small businesses?
Yes, there are. Microenterprises that's typically under 10 employees and under 2 million turnover, they have some exemptions, mainly around services and product design complexity, but they're still encouraged to do what they can without undue burden.
Undue burden. How is that defined?
It needs a documented assessment, weighing the costs against the benefits and resources. But interestingly, if you get public funding for something, you generally can't claim that exemption.
You got it. Any other grace periods?
Yeah, there's a transition for products already legally on the market before June 2025. They have until 2030. And some service contracts get up to 5 years. Certain equipment like ATMs might get longer too.
Okay. If someone's listening and feeling a bit overwhelmed, where can they start looking for help or info?
The Accessible EU website is a really good starting point for guidelines. I'd strongly recommend talking to accessibility experts too, for audits, fixing things, training.
Makes sense. Get expert help.
Definitely. And create an accessibility roadmap. Figure out where you are now, what resources you need, set a timeline, build it into how you work, keep checking, and keep your statements updated.
Right. So wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be the EAA 2025 is a major move for inclusivity in the EU, affects a lot, deadlines coming fast. And even if you're outside the EU, its impact will likely ripple outwards.
Absolutely, sets a new standard. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Instead of just seeing this as regulation, think about how these principles could actually open doors. New customers, better experiences for everyone, maybe in ways you haven't even thought of yet. What's one small accessibility-inspired change you can maybe explore?